The German Bauhaus Design School employed a set of principles and theories that enriched forward thinking for the modern design future. These set of principles focus on shape and functionality of the design that conveyed a message for modern living. Herbert Bayer, both a student and teacher at the Bauhaus in the 1920s, promoted these sets of principles in his work. The contemporary designer Jonathan Ive, whose designs for Apple have been inspired by the Bauhaus principles. These two designers share a common goal that their designs focus on the idea of looking forward and not backwards. Modernist designer Herbert Bayer was born on April 5, 1900 in Hug, Austria. He lived a full life and died at the age of 85 on September 30th, 1985 in California, the US. Bayer was an Austrian-American graphic designer, painter, architect, and major influence on the design industry, especially with advertising in the US at that time. One of Bayer's major milestones was in 1946 when he became a chairman of the Department of Design of the Container Corporation of America and design consultant for Aspen Development. Bayer was known for being a master of typography and advertising. For the Bauhaus School of Design, he was highly recognized for it and gained recognition for the school. Now, what is modernism? Modernism is the design style that focuses on neutral colors, minimalism, and clean design lines. This can be seen heavily in Bayer's work as he uses minimal colors with clean lines and basic geometric shapes. Modernity is typically associated with form, material, and style in reference to industrial design. Modernity can be seen in Bayer's work through his designs of form and geometric shapes popping out of the design to make it look like it's somewhat 3D. Modernization is the process of using more modern design process to increase the product's value. As Bayer's work is created and printed, a lot of his work is his own, which was hand painted and drawn, and then it was copied and made prints of to sell. Herbert Bayer's artistic skills included graphic design, sculpturing, photography, painting, architecture, exterior and interior design, and art decoration. Bayer used modern materials and technologies through his use of photography, paint, ink, and others within his work. His main materials included gouache, ink, and pencil on paper, which are still used today to create art, not as much in graphic design as he did around the 1930s when these were created. He was serious about painting, but for whatever reason he was not held in the same regard as other designers, but his strengths were in graphic design. Herbert Bayer's work expresses modern design principles and elements through his use of creating sleek, simple designs with basic colours and clean finishes. He uses the design principles of type and colour to create his simple modern designs that don't depict the time that he was in. He was above his time and was thinking ahead, which created future design inspirations that are still used to this day and age. Bayer's designs use primary colours and use of shape and simplicity. Herbert Bayer's design work promotes modern design due to the fact that in his times, modernism wasn't prominent. By using simplistic, sleek designs to create advertising for other countries, his work has created a design for social change as he was influencing people through his work in many countries. To this day, Bayer's design still prompts the way that people see modernist design and has created a social change in a way that Bauhaus has become a prominent design period and has also created a change for the Bauhaus school. Considering the social, political, and cultural backdrop in which these designs were created, Herbert Bayer's work was modern and beyond his time period. Bayer's work gave a modern identity to his times through the circles, lines, squares, triangles, and simplistic colours and designs that are still seen in today's day and age. Herbert Bayer's design work made him the famous typography and Bauhaus designer he is today. Socially, he helped enhance the popularity of the Bauhaus Design School and gained recognition for himself and the school while he worked there. Politically, he divorced and remarried 2 times, but this had no effect on how his work was perceived, even though it was during the 1940s. Whilst creating his work, a big part of the Bauhaus School of Design and himself was Adolf Hitler, as in these times Hitler was famous and he hated the Bauhaus School for their liberal attitude and ultimately made them close their doors. Jonathan Ive is a contemporary designer who designs products for Apple, including the iPad, Apple Watch, computers, laptops, and phones. Born in February 1967, London, England, Ives studied art and design at Newcastle Polytechnic. After graduating in 1989, his biggest milestone is that he was an Apple Incorporation executive and was responsible for making designs of products. Ives employs the modernist design principles of simplicity, colour and tone, thinking above his year and thinking forwards for the future of design and development of design products. Jonathan Ive has been influenced through the use of simplistic shapes of Herbert Bayer's Bauhaus designs. Ive has used colour, shape and sleek designs which incorporate the elements of Bauhaus design. They don't use the same materials for their final product, but throughout Ive's design processes he would have used the same materials as Bauer, example pens, papers and ink. As you can see in Ive's designs, he uses Bauhaus-inspired shapes, so the squares, the circles, as you can see through the first to the fourth image, there's a lot of Bauhaus influence. Bauhaus design inspired the shapes and simplicity which has been taken through the years and even into the designs of modern technology. Bayer's work shows the primary use of colours and shapes to create each design. Ives' work shows the use of shapes through the iPhone's rectangular designs with the circle cameras backed by the square borders. This design shows the shapes and block colouring which Bauhaus inspired but with a modern twist. Both designers show their use of Bauhaus design and inspiration from design principles, as well as forward-thinking design which has made a big impact on the design community for many years, as their work will always most likely be relevant.